Hey everybody, Seth Siegler here, Chief Innovation Officer here at eXp Realty, back with another masterclass. And this time it's about Slack. So as you probably know, if you're watching this video, we've made the move from Meta Workplace over to Slack because their Meta is sunsetting Workplace, but also Slack offers a lot of really cool features in a really fairly easy to use package. Once you get used to it, and I thought we would just kind of chat a little bit here together today about some of the key things to know, some of the more fun things that you can do inside of Slack. So I'm going to assume that you already are in Slack by now, by the time you're watching this video. And if not, there's some other resources available to help you actually get into your Slack account the first time. But assuming that you're in Slack and your view kind of looks a little bit like my view here, I'll show you kind of what's next. Okay. So first thing to note is that my Slack looks kind of like purpley, and yours may look like a totally different color, but that is okay. That's just a theme. That's just a theme that that you can change actually here when you first get in, or anytime thereafter when you click on your little icon here, which you can also set as your profile picture, which I can maybe start there. So when you first come in here, though, let's talk about the UI. When you first come into Slack, you'll see a few different sidebars and then like a main window area over here that's bigger on the right. So all the way over here on the left side are different what's called Slack workspaces. And you may only have the eXp one, which if you're an agent, yours will be this black background with a white EXPX logo. That is, that's the one, right? That's the eXp official agent community Slack workspace. But you may also be a member of other workspaces. If you're on a team and your team is using Slack, you'll have a different workspace here potentially, or other things like this, right? I've got a bunch of other stuff here. I've got my staff one here, which is like the opposite colors as the agent one, and so on and so forth. But you can switch through them just by clicking. But again, you probably only have the one. And that's fine, right? So that's just something that may look a little different in your view. You can add workspaces, but that's a whole other thing. That's probably not something that we'll touch on here. Not something that you're going to need to do. We'll kind of talk about that later on. So let's go one row over, and this is like these icons here. You've got home, you've got DMs. Then you've got a little activity, sort of like alerts type of thing, and then files, and then more. This is not something that I actually use very often. this like bar here, but it is here. It is handy sometimes to come in if you get a lot of chats. You can just kind of click on this activity one, and that's kind of neat. It'll change your whole UI just to like all of the mentions and things that you've been alerted about. And so that one's kind of handy. And then separately, like you can just dedicate a DM view to this one, or a file view. And this is going to be all files that have been shared. They're handy. I just myself don't use this section, but you may find it handy. But the thing is to note that if you're on the home tab, which is where you are when you first come in here, you're on the home, like the home one here. It has all of this stuff just in this consolidated view. Right. So here in the direct messages section, this is all the DMs that would be here. They're all just here. And then file, everything is here separately in this consolidated view. And this is just fine most of the time. So that does bring me to this next column here, vertical sort of section. And this is where you're going to switch between different conversations. So in Slack, you've got different ways to have conversations. One is a direct message between just you and one other person, or you in a small group of people. And those are sort of direct messages. And then you've got channels. So if you've ever used basically any kind of messaging app, be it, be it Discord, be it even back in the day, Skype, or or whatever else. That's sort of a paradigm that's existed in all messaging apps. So you can directly message people if it's like a one-off sort of thing, or you can create a channel if it's for a topic. And then we at eXp will have created a bunch of channels for you already, and those channels will show up here. There's two different sections for channels. Don't let that confuse you too much. There's the channels section, right? That's the most straightforward. And then there's the external connections. This is where people from outside of eXp might be, like members of the Slack team. And if they are there, like this support Slack channel, it just shows up in the external connections section. So just something to know. And then finally, all the way down here are apps. And something that's really cool about Slack is that third-party developers and us at eXp, we can create apps that can run inside of Slack. And we will do that, right? So there'll be some bots and things like that that we'll be able to create for you to make your life a little bit easier and more fun and enjoyable and productive here at eXp. And we'll put those apps here. They'll show up in the app section here. So then let's kind of move over to the main section. And this is where this over here all the way on the right, this is where the action is, right? So this is where all the content is. So if you click on different channels or different direct messages, this is where all of this stuff is. So the first channel that you'll come into when you first come in here into Slack, this will be open, is this landing channel. So this is where you land. You've entered Slack and you've landed, and you're here. Every single agent is in here. You won't be able to post in this channel because this is an announcement type channel. And that's something that I'm going to touch on here momentarily, that you can create different channels in Slack, and they can be for different uses, and you can sort of customize them in this way, right? So imagine if we had a channel with 85,000 of you in there or so, right? Give or take. And everybody was chatting. That would be a loud channel. So certain channels where you have that many people in them are going to be announcement types. And the way that works is that certain admin members of the channel can make a post, and then all of everybody can react to it. And in certain cases could even answer inside of a thread, which I'll show you what that looks like momentarily as well. So that's that. That's how that works here. And then if we look up here at the top, we've got some tabs within our channel. This is something that's relatively new to Slack. If you've used Slack years ago, like I did, kind of thought I knew, what it had to offer, but this was sort of new. And Slack has something else besides just messaging in each channel. It has the ability to create what's called a canvas. So a canvas is like a mini web page that shows up within your channel, and you can do essentially almost anything within reason with a canvas on a Slack channel. So whereas think back to our days in workplace where we had groups, channels kind of take the place of groups, and where in a group you may have like information about the group, branding for your group, resources, the pinned posts, stuff like that. All of that would go probably here onto the canvas for your group channel, right? So whatever your group is, Seth group. If anybody wants to start Seth group, I'll join. That would be a group. And then in Seth group, we could have a canvas, and we can name that canvas whatever we want. Here in the landing channel, it's called Agent Community FAQs, for instance. And in here, there's just a lot of information that's that you might need to know, right? So how do I join the agent community? What is the community? What do I need to know to set it up, right? There's PDFs that are embedded in here. I can open this PDF right in here. So this is a very powerful feature inside of Slack that differentiates it currently from a lot of other just messaging platforms. And that's what makes it more of a community, more of an intranet than just plain messaging. So yes, every channel is for messaging, but yes, every channel can have one or more canvas tabs as well, where you can just make this your own. And we'll go through the process. I'll show you how to do it. You don't, it's as easy to use as Workplace was for setting up a group in Workplace. So we can see all the stuff, all the very helpful information that's here on this particular canvas. One thing I do want to call out also is that there is a mobile app for Slack. So you can use Slack. There's actually a lot of ways to use Slack. One is in your browser, right? So if you go through your process of logging into Slack with Okta, probably from your Okta dashboard is going to be the easiest way to get there. It'll give you the option of running Slack in your browser or downloading an app on your computer to use. And then separately, you can also use it on your phone. It's a really good app on your phone too. So something to note. And then one other thing that they've done in this particular channel is set up a pin section. And then you can sort of the channel administrator can pin certain messages, and not only would they stay here at the very top of this channel, it would also show up in the pin section over here. And then this is like an announcement type of channel, so there's a way to actually put a welcome message here, and you can create this kind of channel as well too. So something really cool to note. So let's look back at our channels here. We don't have that many, so I'm going to show you how to add more. But one more thing before I do that is I do want to show you just how instant message or direct messaging works. And you'll see that I have certain contacts here right now. There aren't that many, but I'm going to start so it gives you just a certain number of kind of like, I'm not sure how it figures out which ones to show you here, but this is just a fraction of the agents that are over here in this workspace. So anyway, you can add more, right? So the way to do that is hover over where it says direct messages. There's a little plus sign that appears. I've pressed that, and now I've got this new message view over on the right, and I could type anybody's name in here. So I can type in like Josh Richardson, for instance. So he leads our IT efforts over in the tech department. He's a staff member, so he shows up with this type of logo next to his name, where it's a white background and a black X for eXp. That means he's a staff member, and you can message Josh. If you wanted to message me, you can type me in here. Same thing, right? So we've got this where there's that that so you know that I'm a staff member. Or if you wanted to message another agent, you can do that here, or if they're over here already, you can just click on them. And then now we see that we've got Kevin here, and we can give him a wave. And we can see a little bit about him. We can click on him to view his profile. And we see his info here that he set up when he set up his Slack access. He uploaded his profile picture. So on and so forth, right? So he's got, so this is great. And then now I can message him and say, I probably won't message him just because that might be kind of confusing here. But what I will do is, since I'm using my agent login right now, I'm going to message myself over here, Seth Siegler, right? And then I'm going to say, hi, Seth. Right. And then this would be me messaging, a staff member. And now I'm in a DM conversation with that user. Okay. Then something super, super cool that's very awesome about Slack is that you can do impromptu huddles. So let's say that I was gonna, I'm in a conversation with this person, like here, maybe to make it a little less confusing, I'll message Josh. Josh Richardson, right? So, hey Josh, I'm filming a agent master class right now and demoing how to DM someone, right? So I can do that. right? And he's going to say that. And then I can also I can send him a audio clip, say, hey, Josh, it's me, Seth, showing how to use audio clips here. You do that, and then I could press and send that. And then I could even start a huddle with Josh. And the way that works is I would just press this huddle button. And it's going to start a huddle with Josh, which is like a voice call, or I can make it a video call. So I'm not going to do that because he's probably busy. In fact, I know he is. So I'm not going to bother him anymore. But that's how DMing works in Slack. It's super easy. And you can do this with anybody, any of the other agents, any of the other staff members here, anybody in our community together. We can all DM and we can add, we can have group conversations. It can be 3-4 people, whatever. And that's a great way to stay in touch. We can even add a canvas just for this private conversation. So you can utilize the canvas feature that I was talking about before here just in this private conversation and, really, really personalize and maximize your experience together. So that's that. Let's now go back to, let's look over on this section here. Let's go back to the landing channel. And notice that this is really the only channel I actually have access to right now from the start. It's the only channel that's showing up. I have access to a ton more channels though. So what I'm going to do is press Browse All Channels. Here's what I want to drive home though. There's a lot of channels that you have access to as an agent here in the eXp agent community in Slack, but we don't want to just put them all in your sidebar right off the bat and clutter it up and make it super confusing looking. So they're all sort of not listed there by default, but if you press this Browse All Channels thing right over here on the left side under Channels, then this opens up over, here, I'll press that. Then this opens up over here. And now we've got access to every single channel that we could join. And then once we join it, it will show up on our left side, my left, your right side of the view here. So let's say I was looking to join. So these are all very big channels, right? Like Announce eXp Announcements. That's one I want to join. So I'm going to click on it and then get a little sample of it and say, oh, I definitely want to know about these announcements. I'm going to join this channel. Now I'm in. This is not a posting channel, right? This is also a channel just for announcements. So I can't post here, but again, I can react and I can actually reply in a thread. So new concept to explain, threads. So for every message that appears in a chat, depending on the type of channel, you can either just reply and also post in the channel, right? You can't do that because this is an announcement one, but if it is a regular channel, this would be just a regular text box down here. But the thing that I can do no matter what is hover over the message and type in a reply in thread, right? So if I hover over this message, this appears over here. See this little part that my mouse is over? I can either react to it by something like this, right? I'd say like, oh, nicely done. I've now given a reaction, or I can reply in a thread and I can say something here like, awesome, and reply there. Now this shows up as a reply in the thread. And you can do this no matter what type of channel it is. The nice thing about replying in a thread, if it's a very busy channel, or there's a few nice things about replying in a thread, is it keeps your comment, right, in the thread with this comment, right? And this is like sort of like all chats work this way. This is not a Slack thing, but that's just something neat about replying in a thread, just something to kind of to know. The other cool thing is like you can go up and see over here, like this is one that was posted on Wednesday, right? So I can see that the date that it was posted, Wednesday, July 16th, and 13 people replied in this thread. If I'm just seeing this now and I want to reply to this comment from Wednesday, it would be super confusing if I just put that comment down at the bottom, since there's been several other things talked about since then. But instead, I can just click on this 13 replies and I can read what other people said about it here in this thread, which is great. All right, there's that. So that is threads. That is how to join more channels. So like, let's go through the joining more channels again thing one more time. So I can now see this announce eXp announcements in my external connections section. But let's go back here to see where we say channels in this section here where my mouse is. And then again, browse all channels here. This is something now I can see more stuff. Okay. So let's look for like team, right? So like you and any other I don't know. Let's do like Express or EX. So yeah, solutions accessed by Zenlist. Let's take a look at what this channel is. Okay, yeah, like this is about eXp access. Let's join it and see what's going on. This is a regular, only certain people can post in this channel. So, so there's another one of those channels, but now I've got this channel here. I can see that this one has a pretty cool canvas getting started, right? They've got key contacts in their canvas. This gives you some more ideas about what you can do with canvases in your channels. And that's, yeah, that's a little bit about that. Let's see. Let's go ahead now and then talk about creating channels. So there's one step you have to do the first time you want to create a channel. And so you'll want to pay attention to this part here for sure. But then after you do it the first time, you can forget about it forever. But the first time you go down the path of wanting to create a channel, what you're going to have to do is come over here to this section where all your contacts are and direct messages, come down to the apps section, and then press add apps. Okay. So it's at the very bottom. You scroll down to the bottom, press add apps. Okay. And there's 2 apps to know about today. There are only going to be a few here, but one of them is called Grid Connection. A little bit of a weird name, but go ahead and click on it and then open it. Okay, now that's the only time you'll ever have to do that. For every time after that, it's going to show up down here automatically, Grid Connection. And Grid Connection is what you use to create channels. It is a weird name, just to let you know, but it has to do with what Slack calls the enterprise grid. You don't need to know anything about it. But it is just sort of part of like the infrastructure of our Slack setup, the way that we've got Slack set up here at eXp. It's the app is called Grid Connection. That's the app you go to create a channel. So there's a lot of information here, but there's one button to really know about, and that's Request Channel. And what you can do here is you decide first on what type of channel you want to make, right? So if I wanted to make a channel for my team, I would choose team. And then that would be the channel purpose. If I wanted it to be about networking, right? If I'm making a networking channel for like geeky agents that are into AI and, that sort of thing. Like I can make a networking channel there and we trade off ideas and we network and have fun. Same thing. It's just a full regular old chat channel. We choose chat and there's all these different options that you've got, right? So like, let's set one up for a team, right? So I want to have a channel for my team, right? So it'd be like, and we have to give the channel a name, right? Short and lowercase. I'm going to call it Seth Lab Team, right? Seth Lab Team. And then I'm going to pick a country. You can make it global, right? Or it can be dedicated to a certain particular country. And this will just make it easier to find for people in different countries. I'll just say it's the United States for now. That one's not super important, but this one is. Channel type, this is super important. If I want this channel to be able to be found by anybody at eXp, right? Anybody in the agent community or staff at eXp, I'm going to choose public. If I want it to only be invite only, right? Just for members of the Seth Lab team, then I would choose private. Okay, so that part's super important. The rest of it's pretty important. But this part's very important, right? Because if you are thinking that this is private for your team, then you're going to want to make it private. If you're trying to build a community within the eXp community, then you're going to want to choose public. So I think it's more fun. Let's try a public one. So let's switch our channel to networking, or let's just make it just general chat. And I'm going to call it test AI geeks, right? So I'm going to call it that, and we can get an idea, like a little bit of a preview of what it looks like up there. Well, that's interesting. It already generated the name from my original name, but whatever. Don't worry about that. And then I can. So it's public, so anybody can discover and find my channel. But you can also, at this point, add eXp agents or staff to your channel right off the bat, starting with 99 of them, up to 99 of them, right? So I can like invite Josh to this channel, and invite anybody else. And I wish I knew who was watching. I'd invite all of you to my channel, but you can invite whoever you want, and then just press next. And the channel name will be US Chat Test AI Geeks. Right. And it came up with that name because I chose US as the country, and I chose the type of channel as chat. And then this was Test AI Geeks was the name of that I actually picked. Right. So I'm going to submit that. And then that is going to go through a little process. And I'll have gotten a direct message just now. And I now see my channel up here, US Chat Test AI Geeks. So sometimes it takes just a moment to go through the process of creating your channel, but it gets done here like within a very short amount of time. And now I've got my channel. So check it out. We have a little bit of a different look compared to the channels that we had seen before. So I've got a little bit of work now ahead of me to set my channel up just the way I want. But since it's my network, theoretically, I'm pretty excited to brand this and make this all my own. So first thing I can do is make posts, right? So and since it's a regular chat channel, it's not an announcement type. Anybody that joins can make posts in here, and they can say, "So excited to geek out," right? We can do that, and we can add any of these emojis, right? And I can, some of them are pretty fun, right? I've got like, well, let's take a look, right? Some of these are bound to be fun. Got a lot of different ones here, right? So for some reason, I'll put a snowflake because I'm getting excited since it's summertime and it's hot. I'm kind of ready for winter. But I'll put that in there, and who knows, right? And I could put a video clip or a voice clip, and then I'll post that. Most importantly, with this plus sign, I can add, I can upload files from my computer to post in there. There's workflows, text snippets, whatever else I want to put in here. Most importantly, a robust GIF library. Very important stuff here, right? Let's see. Geek Central. Let's post that in there. All right. Robust GIF library. I expect you all to utilize that pretty heavily. I know I do. Now that we're in our channel here, I can click on the membership up here. I can see that I added Josh, my user here. This is my agent test user. We can have a huddle, and I can just make a phone call for this whole channel to like loop us into a huddle real quick, and so on and so forth. But then up here next to messages, let's not forget about our canvas. So canvases, again, I'm really just going to drive this home. This is what makes it community-like, right? So this is what makes it more than just a chat channel. So a chat channel is also like, this is our group now. And we can make this really feel like home with this. So this is the canvas it comes with. Really lame. It doesn't say anything, right? Because it's up to us to really change it. So anything I put here, I'm going to put like AI resources. And then this is a placeholder canvas, and I can do all kinds of things here. And I can start from scratch. I've got my canvas tools here. So I can put in like dividers, placeholders, put a big image in here, right? Whatever the case may be. Anything I want. Also, separately, I can start with a template. So if you're somebody like me sometimes who looks at a blank sheet of blackness like this and isn't totally sure, like, how do I make this look good? I prefer to start with a template. So I'm going to press this plus sign up here at the top, right? So I've got messages, I've got the canvas that it came with, which is lame. And then I'm going to press this plus sign, and I can, well, actually, first of all, I can do different things here. I can add a link, I can add a folder, and then I can customize tabs here as well, right? So I can do a folder, and then it'll have different files and stuff whatever I want to put in. I could put like just a link to, let's to techcrunch.com. And I could put that into a folder of links. And let's call it AI resources, right? And since my group is all about AI, that's what I'm talking about here, right? So now I've got a folder with links to different AI resources. And if this was a group about, like I said, if it's a group about like referrals in San Diego, I could put different things there. I'll put the global referral platform link right there. I'll put a link to our best practices, so on and so forth. I can put all this stuff here. And then over here, back on our canvas, we can sort of do different things here. We can make this a starred canvas. We can print the canvas. We can go back and restore a previous version of the canvas if we made a mistake. But yeah, this is sort of how this works here. This is how you'll create your canvas. And then it's there for your group to leverage. That's where you can have your cover photo. That's where you can have important information and posting guidelines. That's where you can have videos that were recorded, when you went and did like a live stream together as a hangout. You can record that and then put the recording on your canvas. YouTube videos that are important from previous times together, that sort of thing. So that's the sort of stuff you can do with canvases. Let's see, that's that. I'm just thinking about anything else I want to show you. I feel like this is kind of the core functionality for now that you really need to know about. There's a lot more you can do with Slack though. But this is sort of a key, the key info. Last thing I want to mention too is that you'll remember when we looked at some of these other channels like Landing, where it's an announcement type of channel. And this is for huge groups of larger groups of agents or channel members, where it would be too chaotic and you for everybody to be posting, right? It's absolutely blow up with activity and nobody would be able to follow. But if you want it to be like a moderated experience like this, that's called an announcements channel. And you too can have one of these. It's not self-service. You can't create one of these. But if you run a large group or are starting a new group that you want to be really large and you want a moderated posting experience like this, where only admins of the channel can make a post, an announcement, and then the community members could respond in the thread and respond with reactions like this. You'll just have to reach out to production support at eXp, and they will take care of setting that up for you. They'll work with you to set that up, right? So we're here to support groups of all sizes. And if you run a large group, this is the way to do it. You're going to want to have a moderated group experience. So something to note too. That's the last sort of nugget I think that that I need to touch on. So hopefully everybody will find the strong community within Slack and find some user enjoyment with Slack. Yes, it's an adjustment. I think it's not workplace, but in a lot of ways, there's a lot more offered here within Slack. Once you get through just this little bit of a learning curve, and I really hope that this video helps accelerate you through that learning curve and answer some of the questions that you may have had, and shows off a little bit of what you can do here in Slack. If you have any questions, though, you can always reach out to me or reach out to to your support channels here at eXp. Absolutely, every single person is here to help you, even your fellow agents. So do leverage your community, do leverage your support channels. Reach out to me directly if you want, and we'll help you get up to speed. That said, I'll see you in Slack. I expect cool gifts from you. You will get them in return